So it looks like Jimmy G finally got his swagger back.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
With all the interceptions that he threw over the past weekend and having a lot of these fans worried, it's good to see that Jimmy G is looking as sharp as he did in yesterday's practice. But we'll see if he can keep that same energy in today's joint practice, ironically, against his former team, the the San Francisco 49ers. Raider Nation, we have a lot to unpack in today's video outside of just joint practice. But first, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. With that being said, cue the intro.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby. Because you're not feeling loosey.
First things first, I want to give a huge congratulations to the GOAT Charles Woodson and Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. Shout out to this guy right here, man. They have become the official bourbon of the Las Vegas Raiders, man. That's huge news, especially to see where they started to where they're at right now, man. I'm just blessed and I'm grateful to be a part of this team, man. You guys already know that I've been rocking Woodson Whiskey since the get, and they have been supporting this channel as well for the past couple of years. Shout out to the whole team out there, you know, obviously Charles Woodson, my guy Joe, my guy Jay, man. They've been supporting my channel for the past couple of years, and not just me. They've been supporting the whole Raider Nation as a whole. And that's why I feel like they've been getting a lot of love, because they've been showing a lot of love to everybody, no matter how big or small you are. They've been showing that support. I'm really, really happy for them. I mean, the Raiders might as well sign Charles Woodson to a one-year contract. We could definitely use him in the secondary. But all jokes aside, again, congratulations to Woodson Bourbon Whiskey. If you guys are trying to cop yourself a bottle or find a store near you that sells it, head over to WoodsonWhiskey.com. Y'all already know the deal. If it ain't your game day whiskey, it is now. Now, moving on to some other news, let's talk about our former 2020 first round pick, starting with wide receiver Henry Ruggs. Now, just yesterday, news came out that he was sentenced 3 to 10 years in prison. But one thing I did want to bring up was that Eagles wide receiver Devontae Smith actually was excused from practice yesterday just to go and attend Henry Ruggs' sentencing. I mean, that's great to see, you know, a former teammate of his back in Alabama, someone that Henry Ruggs considers a brother. It's good to see that there's somebody out there that could go out there and support him. But getting back to the 3 to 10 year sentence, of course, I know a lot of people might be looking at the situation and like, yo, that's not enough. You know, he took a life, which is sad, and I don't know how that family is feeling. I'm not a judge here, and I'm not here to judge Henry Ruggs. I just feel for the family. Now, one person that, you know, has something to say about the situation and felt like, you know, 3 to 10 years wasn't enough, the math wasn't mathing, was none other than O.J. Simpson.
Hey, X-World, it's me, yours truly. Now, I know I went to college on a football scholarship, but somehow this math is not adding up to me. You're driving a car at roughly 160 miles an hour on a public street and end up killing a girl and her dog, and you get 3 to 10 years. I don't know.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, somebody take this dude's phone away. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he did make some good points, but out of all people to talk about this, I don't think OJ should be the guy, you know what I mean? The fact that he even questioned the 3 to 10 years is not enough for killing somebody. I don't know, my boy walked for free for, you know, I'm not gonna say anything. I just thought it was kind of interesting that he would come out and talk about this thing, knowing his situation, but I'm not gonna dive too deep into that. Now, I do want to talk about our second first round pick that we had in 2020, cornerback Damon Arnette. Instagram model Danii Banks went on a podcast and basically exposed Damon Arnette.
Damon Arnette, little football player that played for the Raiders that got kicked off trying to shoot someone or something.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went to the bathroom, stole my bust down Cartier watch, took my other phone and Zelled them all my money out of my account. I have it all on camera, him and his friends leaving my house. Come to find out, he does that to bitches in the fucking did it to me.
Broke
You that
you.
hard up on some cash, dog? You know what? It's cool because Karma's a bitch.
Come on, Oos. Arnette definitely got to be down bad for doing something like that. It's just kind of sad to me to look back at our 2020 draft. We had 2 first-round picks, after the Khalil Mack trade, and we thought, hey, we got 2 picks. We're going to go get some guys that could change this whole franchise around. We go get Henry Ruggs, who I believe still could have made an impact today if he did not make that dumb decision that night. But as far as Damon Arnette, all of this, he put this on himself. And just to see where he's at right now, he's a guy that had so much potential coming into the league. And even though I wasn't so high on him in the first round of that 2020 draft, I was still being optimistic. I'm always optimistic. That's a blessing and a curse for me. The Leatherwoods of the world, Damon Arnett's of the world, Jonathan Abram, the list goes on and on and on. And I know he's been dealing with a lot of other situations. It's just sad to see both of these guys' careers go down in the drain. Obviously, I just wanted to talk about it just a little bit because they were former Raiders. But what do you guys think about Damon Arnette and even the Henry Ruggs situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, let's talk about our quarterback, Jimmy G. Like I said before in the beginning of the video, it looks like Jimmy G got his swagger back because after throwing a couple of interceptions over the past weekend, he came out swinging in training camp yesterday. I seen a lot of tweets out there of Jimmy G just killing it at practice, and that's something that you definitely want to see after having a bad stretch of practices, just prior. Many of the reporters that attended training camp just yesterday had some real high praise for him. First, Vic Tafur saying Jimmy G sharp in red zone drills. That's why he's here. And honestly, that's true. Our last quarterback, Derek Carr, really struggled in the red zone a lot. And that was one thing that we were missing. I feel like we could have won a lot more games if we were able to capitalize in the red zone. And for a guy in Jimmy G that excels in that, of course, he's still got to work his way to the red zone. But I don't think that's going to be a tough task for him. Q also added on to that, saying that Jimmy G having a great practice today. He completes a pass to Devontae Adams in the end zone. And GM Ziegler shouts, "Good shot, 10." I guess it's good to see that connection is slowly starting to build. It could be dangerous. Who knows? Because, Jimmy G has never had a wide receiver like Devontae Adams, an elite top wide receiver. So I hope we get to see a lot more of those during the season, like I stated before. My boy Vinny being the place to be also added that Jimmy Garoppolo having a stellar practice today at Raiders training camp. Don't recall one incompletion. And like I said before, after coming off of a tough weekend at practice, it's good to see he's out there slanging the rock and having that confidence. Of course, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's good to see that Jimmy G is starting to look a little bit more confident out there. It's good to see that he's bouncing back after the weekend that he had just last week. But it also shows that, the offense and the defense are, having their days. The defense looking really good out there. The offense also bouncing back and showing up, and it's not totally lopsided one direction. It's also good to hear that our coach, Josh McDaniels, isn't even worried about the weekend he had last week, just having a lot of incompletions and even interceptions out there. And I feel as if Jimmy G is going out there, not afraid to make any mistakes. He's just throwing the ball out there, taking chances out there, seeing what sticks. And if he's making a mistake out there, he's just shrugging his shoulder, having that short-term memory loss and going out there and trying to succeed on the next play. So again, it's good to see that Jimmy G had a day like he did just yesterday. Hopefully, like I said in the intro, he keeps that same energy going into joint practice today, because it's going to be a lot going on, especially against his former team, the 49ers, who is a really great defense. We'll see how he actually looks when the pressure is on him, and that's one thing that I told you guys that I'm going to be looking out for. I know that there's going to be a lot of fans out there saying, oh, you guys are all hyping up the defense over the weekend, and now you guys are hyping up Jimmy G, training camp this, training camp that. That's the whole definition of training camp. You're going to have your good days, your bad days, but I'm just happy to see that the defense has been winning a couple of matchups, and I'm also happy to see that the offense has been winning a couple matchups as well. Now, as you guys may already know, joint practices are today. They started today with the 49ers. We're also going to be having joint practice with them tomorrow, leading up into Sunday's game. But so far, this Raiders team is looking really, really good offensively and defensively, man. I've seen a couple of tweets going now, obviously from a lot of the beat writers and all that. I wanted to go over all the updates that I've seen, at least. First, starting with some of the negatives. The Niners defensive line actually got the best of the Raiders offensive line during one-on-one drills. Colton Miller on Andre James and McClendon Curtis actually held up well, according to Sean Reed. Of course, we already know that the Niners defensive line is one of the best in the NFL, so I'm not too surprised by that. Now, one matchup I was really excited to see was actually seeing Max Crosby versus Trent Williams, and let's say Trent Williams basically got the better of Max Crosby today. No matter what they did, Trent Williams was able to hold up Max Crosby, and hey, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. At the end of the day, we already know that, Trent Williams is one of the best tackles in the NFL, so Max Crosby ain't the only one out here getting held up. But let's look at some of the positives so far in training camp. The defense. I want to highlight the defense just a little bit. According to Vic Tafur, Malcolm Kuntz and Jerry Tillery have looked good in these one-on-one drills. Rookie Nesta Jade Silvera as well. I mean, Nesta has been one guy that's been getting a lot of love. I've seen in the Max Crosby mic'd up session, he showed a lot of love to Nesta, and it's great to see that some of these young players are stepping up. But Jerry Tillery was one name that really stood out, I guess, today, really showing out against the Niners offense. Now, Vic Tafur would also add on to that, saying good sign that different defensive line players are flashing. Byron Young with a good shed, and Chase Tillery has been on it all day. Obviously, like I just said not too long ago. Now, Marcus Peters, a guy that we just got a couple of days ago, is already drawing, 49ers players out there. He about that life. He's a guy that's going to go out there and talk his shit. And so far, I've been hearing a lot of good things from the defense as a collective today. Also, the defense came away with the turnover in today's joint practice. Duke Shelley actually picked off Brock Purdy. Now, the Niners would get the Raiders back against their second unit. Brian Hoyer threw an interception, but that's the second unit. Now, I want to talk about our quarterback, somebody I just talked about not too long ago, but going into today's practice, I was wondering how Jimmy was going to look with this offense, and so far, this dude has been killing it. Call him Himmy G.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Vic Tafur said that Jimmy's quick release beats his old teammates on back-to-back plays, including a high sideline pass to Davante Adams. Josh Harper, who is a beat writer for the San Francisco 49ers and also is a former Raider/Fresno State player, also tweeted that Jimmy G with the jump ball to Davante Adams. Adams catches it over two defenders easily. So it ain't only the beat writers that seen that action. The Niner beat writers are also seeing that as well. So it's good to see that Jimmy G and Davante is kind of clicking so far in training camp. Now, I guess on 11 on 11s for the 2-minute drill, Jimmy G was nearly perfect. Went 4 for 6 with a touchdown pass to Austin Hooper. He got to connect with Jacoby Myers and Hunter Renfrow prior to throwing that touchdown pass, and Hooper was able to come down with that touchdown despite the defensive PI. And to add on to that, this was actually against the 49ers first team defense. So this really has me hyped up. Everything that I've been seeing so far, I'm really excited. And last thing, with joint practice officially being over, shout out to my guy Hondo Carpenter. He tweeted out this: overall, both teams today had some wins, but the Raiders won today. Settled down. I have been cautious all camp about the defense, but after seeing them today versus the 49ers, they are what they have been showing all camp. Offense clicked with Jimmy G. Crosby was Max, the best player on the field at any position. Let's fucking go, man. That's exactly what I want to hear. That kind of answers everything that I had leading up until this joint practice. Let's see if they could keep that energy going into tomorrow's joint practice, but so far, so good. I love to hear that the defense actually looked good out there, because we've been hearing a lot of good things from at least our side. But to see that we went up against another team, at least a team that looked really good last season, to go out there and just win the day like they did today has me really, really excited, and I just cannot wait to see them on the field on Sunday in action. So with that being said, Raider Nation, let me know what your thoughts are on joint practice today. Are you guys feeling a little bit better about the team? Are you feeling better about the defense, about the offense, about Jimmy G as our quarterback commanding this offense? Or are you guys a little skeptical and gonna just take this whole thing with a grain of salt and wait until the actual season does start? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. With all that being said, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today. I do want to just thank you guys a lot. You guys have been showing a lot of love to the channel just of late. I've been questioning myself a lot coming back on YouTube. I've been busy with a lot of things, and I know you guys don't really want to hear all of that, but coming back, I was kind of nervous to see whether or not you guys are going to show the same love that you guys had before. But to see that you guys have been there every step of the way, You know, I appreciate you guys a lot. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers, and hopefully I can get to that by the end of the year. You know, I got a lot of plans for you guys, and I hope that you guys do enjoy each and every one of them. And it starts this weekend against the 49ers. This weekend is going to be jam-packed. I'm going to try to get as much content as I can for you guys. For the people that can't make it here in Las Vegas, the Oos definitely got you guys. But with that said, again, until the next video, this your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is, yeah.